Appreciate that. I wanted to ask about this issue of, I know in your testimony, Director Comey, you've talked about the estimate that 250 Americans have traveled, I don't know if it's in Secretary Johnson or your testimony, have traveled or attempted to travel to Syria to participate in obviously the conflict, and we're worried about obviously their participation in the jihad. And one thing I wanted to ask about is, I understand, Director Comey, that we've had an effort where we've been arresting people across this country very aggressively. And as I understand it, we've had maybe close to 50 arrests that are related to these issues. Maybe the person didn't travel to Syria, but they have some connection where they're at least perhaps were attempting to travel, a connection to ISIS. Could you tell us what's happening? Because I think it's important for the American people to understand that this is happening quite frequently. Your department is trying aggressively, working with Homeland Security to arrest these individuals. But what have you been doing across the country in terms of arrests that are being made?
Yeah, we're trying to, the arrests are part of our strategy to do two things: to incapacitate people who might otherwise travel over to the so-called caliphate, and then become much more dangerous to us. I know some folks say, why don't you just let them all go? Maybe they'll get killed there. Well, maybe they won't. And when we
certainly don't want them coming back or going to hurt our partners in Europe.
And that's the future we're going to be talking about for the next 3 to 5 years. So we want to stop that. But we also want to send a really scary message, because what we see in the travelers is they're getting incrementally younger, and more females think that it's a great way to find a life. So we're trying to send a message, first of all, that it's a nightmare there, especially for a woman, but that if you play around with this, you're going to end up in jail for a long stretch to try and change that behavior.
Could you give us a sense? I know my time's up, but who are you arresting? Like, what's the background of the individuals? You said more women. Are you encountering younger people? Is this just centered in one community, or is this something we're seeing across the country?
No, the challenge for us is there's no geographic center to it, in part because of the crowdsourced way that the message is going out. And there are kids and adults who are seeking meaning in their life, troubled people all over the United States. And so it resonates with those groups. What I meant was, we're seeing, there isn't a particular demographic, either it's the location or to age. The Syria travelers early on ranged from something like 18 to 63. But what we have noticed is, and it's early, so this isn't a high confidence read, it seems to be drifting younger with more girls. And by girls, I mean women under the age of 18, with whom this message on social media is resonating. And my hope is, and it's not just hope, I may see some early signs in the data that the message is getting out to families and to young people. First, it's a nightmare in Syria. Don't go there thinking.
Of course it's a nightmare. I mean, women are being raped. Girls are being raped. It's horrific.
It's hell on earth. And this isn't some joyride, right? That you will get in serious trouble if we get wind of it, and you will go to jail for a very long stretch. And both of those things are important in driving the numbers down, but time will tell whether we're making progress there.
Well, thank you. And this is obviously something we're all very concerned about. Appreciate you all being here.